Sunny skies, highs of 75, and the familiar ping of bat on ball. The calendar might say February, but it looks like spring to me because Texas softball just kicked off their season and Texas baseball begins tomorrow. We've got the inside look at both of these top-ranked programs tonight on a special edition of College Press Box.
I hook 'em up high. I hook 'em hard big, I hook 'em up wide. Going for the corner, he's got it. I hook 'em up.
Weymouth rolls the 2-1 pitch. Pena fields, throws, and for the first time in TCU baseball history, the Horned Frogs are going to Omaha.
That's the way baseball is. It's a cruel game, man. I'm not kidding about that. Try being in these kids' shoes for a while right now. It's hard.
You know, we had a great team last year. You know, we felt that we should have been there. But you know, some things happen for a reason, and we've been working real hard this year. We've done a lot of stuff. You know, we have some changes we have to you know, embrace.
We have a good team, but no one has a great team yet, including us. Great teams come as a result of a lot of hard knocks and a lot of adjustments and a lot of learning and a lot of cohesiveness, and facing a lot of adversity together, which forms a tougher team.
And welcome to College Press Box, the Texas baseball and softball season preview. I'm your host, Nathan Parse, and it's one of my favorite times of the year because Texas baseball opens their 2011 season this weekend. The 2010 season ended in heartbreak for the Longhorns, but key returning players keep Texas ranked 6th or 7th in all the major polls. And as always at the University of Texas, it starts with the pitching. Here's Hannah Trippett with more.
The Longhorns return Big 12 Pitcher of the Year Cole Green and first-team All-American Taylor Youngman to the starting rotation this season, with both pitchers looking to improve on their game.
You got guys like Taylor. I've been on a staff that last year that was considered to be one of the best staffs, but I think we have a great staff this year, young staff, and it's fun more than anything. It's definitely, Texas is our field and our stadium plays to defense. Our defense is very good and our pitchers are very good, so really it's just an honor to be a part of it.
I mean, with me and Cole, we have a lot of experience from last year, but we have a lot in the Sunday starter and Tuesday starter both. I mean, we haven't really found exactly who that's going to be, so it'll be interesting to see who that's going to be.
After losing Chance Ruffin to the MLB draft, the biggest question in the Longhorns pitching staff is who will fill his role.
Well, I'm not sure that we're going to have a ninth inning guy like Ruffin, Street, or Jay Brent Cox. I think it may be by committee. We've done that before, where it's 3 or 4 different guys alternating, mainly taking on matchups in the batting order from the 7th inning.
There's really no key guy, you know, that we're going to rely on this year, because we know every time each and every one of us come in, we all got to get it done. So, I mean, it's really just the fact of who's going to pitch which inning more than it is, you know, the closer type. But, you know, I got confidence in everyone out there that we can all get the job done. So, I mean, I don't see any big problems occurring.
Hannah Trippett, College Press Box.
And here we have the starting rotation announced today. Friday, Taylor Youngman will be your starter. Saturday, Cole Green, just like last year. Sam Stafford will start the second game of the doubleheader this weekend. He'll fall into the Tuesday starter role most likely once the season gets moving. And Sunday, sophomore Hobie Milner will be the starter. Relievers, as they talked about, no definite closer role, but the 2 key guys looking to fill the 9th inning or at least get the bridge to the end of the game, Staten Thomas and Andrew McKirahan from the right and the left side respectively. Now it is my pleasure to welcome in my panel a couple of big-time baseball guys, Matt Loving, Michael Morton, and now, guys, they talked about this pitching rotation. Cole Green, Taylor Youngman, 2 guys who had phenomenal seasons last year, and they're back. It feels like they can only get better. What kind of expectations do you have for this starting rotation?
Yeah, expectations that you see, just look at the draft stock. Cole Green, drafted in the 4th round by Detroit. He loved Austin, loved what he could still do here, so he stayed. If you look back at last year at his stats, he had an ERA of under 3, about a 2.74. Doesn't get into trouble. He doesn't walk guys. He doesn't give up the big bomb. He's just solid.
Yeah, you talked about Cole Green, another great pitcher that Augie Garrido has called both these guys just slightly above average pitchers. They're above average for sure, and other pitchers, Taylor Youngman, the big 6'5" right-handed pitcher, he's 8-3 last year with a 2.03 ERA and 129 Ks last year to lead the team. That's an impressive stat. He's also first-team All-American this season. He's a preseason All-American, and he's ranked as high as number 6 and being drafted in next year's MLB amateur draft, and that's pretty impressive. He's got dollar signs written all over him, and he's definitely going to play a big role in leading off that weekend rotation for the Longhorns this year.
We know Youngman's great. We know Green is great now. The guy who I think really makes or breaks the rotation is going to be the Sunday starter, Hobie Milner, who's replacing an outstanding pitcher from last year's squad, Brandon Workman. Now, Milner, I do think, is a guy who is, at this point in his career, a bit farther along than Workman was in terms of his location, in terms of his control over his breaking stuff, and he's a guy who really throws to contact, and what Augie likes about him the most, he is never overwhelmed by the moment. He always stays within himself. Now, we do have the big question, and that is getting to the end of the game. We talked about a couple guys, Andrew McKirahan, Staten Thomas, essentially a closer by committee type of role. What do you guys think of how they can fill that 9th inning?
Well, it's not really a problem. The way their bullpen is set up to do this is if the opposing team wants to come at them by matchups, they can go left, right, left, and that's no problem. If they need a guy to stick in there for an inning, they could do that too.
It'll be interesting to see how this role for closer adapts, because it's not Chance Ruffin that they've had in the past, or that dominant closer. One of the guys I'm looking at is Staten Thomas. Last year, only had 37 innings of pitching, but he had a 2.92 ERA. And as a senior, he hasn't had much experience in games, although he's had 4 years on the team. So it'll be interesting to see how he does as the right-handed anchor of that team. And hopefully they'll be able to find a way to make that committee work. And while we talked about how Cole Green will play a major role in Texas' rotation, the Longhorns were almost without the 6-foot right-handed pitcher this year after the major leagues came calling.
A tough end to the 2010 season only got tougher when Texas lost cornerstone players like Chance Ruffin, Cameron Rupp, and Brandon Workman to the pros. But the Longhorns breathed at least one sigh of relief when Detroit Tigers 4th-round pick Cole Green announced he would return for his senior season.
There's a lot that went into the decision. I think it was my family and my close friends and my coaches and I all discussed it and thought about it really long and hard, and it wasn't an easy decision, but it was one that I made. I feel like coming back to this university and playing one more year means a lot to me. Graduating means a lot to me, and this team means a lot to me.
After losing the national championship in 2009 and just missing the College World Series last year, Green is motivated by one last chance at a championship.
I mean, that's my only goal for the season. I think we set a lot of goals, and I've set a lot of goals at my time here at UT, and I've accomplished a lot of the goals I've set. But the one thing I haven't done is won a national championship, and that's the main reason I'm here. It's the main reason, Tant and Staten, and you got seniors that came back that could have gone on and played at other places. But it's what we love, and it's what we want to do.
And to the rest of the Longhorns, Green's return gave them not only one of their best arms, but one of their best leaders.
He is a leader. He's shown great maturity. He's been very solid. He's taken on a sense of responsibility without going too far and starting to drift into being caught up in expectations or perceptions. He's still having fun playing baseball and doing well in school and setting a good example for his teammates and on and off the field. So we're very happy to have him back.
He's a great kid. He's the leader on this team. He does everything that's asked of him. He helps everybody out. And, it just shows the kind of person he is to come back, and he wants to win a national championship, so that's why he's back. And, we're loving him back, and he's going to do a lot of great things for us this year.
Texas pitching always strong, but you still have to score one more than your opponent. We'll tell you about the guys charged with that task after the break.
God, he's having a seizure. He's having a seizure. What do I do? There's not that many girls on this show, so I'm
There
so
aren't.
excited. I know.
There aren't.
Who's a flamethrower?
I got a flamethrower.
Oh, let's run down to the cafe and get a cherry Coke and some hamburgers.
Video Game Hour Live! Woo!
You're watching College Pressbox on Texas Student Television.
Welcome back to this special edition of College Pressbox. It's rare in college baseball to achieve a continuity like the Longhorns have in the infield, returning all 4 starters behind the pitcher last year. Leslie Slaughter has more.
One of the strongest components of a Longhorn baseball team, the infield is returning all 4 starters this season and hopes to capitalize on its veteran leadership and experience.
Gone through a lot, went through a lot last year, got a lot of experience last year. You know, it's always good to have guys back, not only just to be back, but to lead other guys too as well. So, you know, the experience factor plays a role, and that's something we're looking forward to and something that definitely will work in our advantage.
It's a very capable defensive infield with experience, both offensively and defensively, and it becomes a huge asset to our pitching staff.
We pride ourselves around pitching and defense, and it's something that people don't really look at. They think offense, but you know, it's really about the defense and preventing the other team from scoring runs, and I think we have a great infield to prevent that.
The infield led the defense to a .980 fielding percentage, which was the best in the nation.
You know, we do as much as we can to help these pitchers out, and you know, this field works to our advantage. We have a lot of ground balls are slow. It's a deep park, so our outfitters can run a lot of balls down, and you know, we take pride in it, and it's something we work hard at every day. We have a great infield coming back, like you said, and you know, it's just part of the process.
The unquestioned leader of this infield is junior shortstop Brandon Loy, who made only 7 errors all last season and is widely regarded as one of the top shortstops in the nation.
He's definitely the leader of the defense, and he's going to be there. He's going to make every play that he needs to make, and then he's going to go out of his way to make outstanding plays. So he has to be considered one of the best shortstops in the country, so I'm glad to have him on my team.
To have a shortstop like him, that's the pitcher's best friend.
Leslie Slaughter, College Pressbox.
And here is a look at our expected starting lineup. And we'll start with the catcher position. Losing a mainstay for 3 years, the starter, Cameron Rupp, is gone. Jacob Phelps, a freshman, is looking like one of the favorites to take that role. We went all the way through the infield there. Terrence Shepard at first base, Jordan Etier at second, Kevin Lusson, third baseman, but possibly getting some time at catcher this season. He'll be competing with Jacob Phelps for that role. Brandon Loy, the leader of the defense, back at shortstop. Outfield, just a little bit of competition. Tim Maitland, a possible starter. Also watch out for freshman Mark Payton, who could fill his role. Center field, Cole Walla, last year's freshman sensation, expected to be one of the offensive leaders of the team. Right fielder, possibly lefty, you have Paul Montalbano, who received a number of pinch hit at-bats in key late-inning situations last year. Augie Garrido loves his poise and loves that he's not overwhelmed by the moment. DH, you have Jonathan Walsh, who was a catcher coming into Texas. Great hitter, switch hitter, could not quite figure out the defense. He's expected to DH or play left field this season. Now, guys, as we talked about Cameron Rupp, and not to mention the other guys that this team lost offensively to the draft, Kevin Keyes, Russell Moldenhauer, big-time power no longer in this lineup. How do you think that this team is going to respond to not having the kind of home run ability they had last year?
Well, it's a big park, but it's a good thing for it to be this year that this happens. NCAA baseball has switched to a different bat. They took some of the ping out of it, safety issues. This faulk is long. It's hard to get out of there. They're gonna have people putting the bunt down, but that's Augie ball. I mean, Augie Augie is not. Oh my goodness, Augie is not. He is not scared to put the bunt down. And Tant Shepard, let's not pretend like he can't hit the ball. He had a .330 average above there. And the only problem in the infield is Jordan Etier. Great on the defense, but he's a little anemic at the plate.
You talked about playing Augie ball too. The keys to playing Augie ball are Cole Walla and Brandon Loy, who are going to lead off this offense. Cole Walla last year had hitting .316 with 40 RBIs, while Brandon Loy struggled at the plate, only .252. But what Brandon Loy brings to the table is, of course, his defense at shortstop. Only 7 errors at shortstop with a .974 fielding percentage, which is great, leading that phenomenal Texas defense, #1 in the nation last year. And Augie Garrido called him a pitcher's best friend. He's going to be Cole Green's best friend. He's going to be Terry Youngman's best friend for sure this year if he continues to play the way he has on defense.
Cole Wall, an interesting player. He's a guy who's very skinny, very lanky, 165 at 6'3". He's a toothpick, but he has surprising power for his size. Now, there is still a little bit of power left in this lineup. We talked about Jonathan Walsh earlier, but one guy I'm really excited to watch this season is Kevin Lesson. And he's a guy who struggled at the plate at times last season, but he always showed a lot of potential. He is a guy who, above all, has an outstanding eye at the plate, takes a lot of walks, and he has monstrous power. If any of y'all have seen Dish Falk Field, y'all know the sign in right field and the house behind it. He's hit that house before. He can hit some monster home runs, and not to mention a switch hitter. One of the key players in this offense. Now, before we head to our next break and talk about softball, we're going to give you a look at some of the key points on the Longhorns' schedule this season. And their season starts this weekend with Maryland, the season opener, 218 through 220. They play 4 games, a doubleheader on Saturday. Another big game against a perennial powerhouse, Stanford, March 4th through March 6th. Then Big 12 play looking very strong for the Longhorns this season. Kansas State in late March. Late April, they go to Kansas for 8 through 4. 9, they'll take on their classic rival Baylor, then come back home for the finale against them. The April 29th through May 1st, they have Oklahoma, who is a top 10 team in a number of the polls. And then their last series of the season, Texas A&M, 1 game at College Station on May 19th, and then 2 at home against a team that also top 5 in some polls. And with that, we are going to take you to our next break. And when we come back, we'll talk about Texas softball, who started their season with a bang last week, and we'll tell you more about how they did after the break.
Ringo keep the club jumping. Ringo keep it thug. I keep on loving it. I keep it coming. Draped up in all black.
You're watching College Pressbox on Texas Student Television.
Welcome back to the College Pressbox baseball and softball season preview. We're going to change gears now and talk about Texas softball, who just opened their season this past weekend. Now, despite an early exit in the NCAA tournament last season, a talented young Texas team enters Week 2 ranked 13th in the nation. And while much of the offseason buzz revolved around last year's freshman sensation, pitcher Blair Luna, it was another sophomore who made the headlines in the Longhorns' opening tournament. After leading the Longhorns with a .382 batting average as a freshman, it was easy to predict big things from Taylor Hoagland's second season. But after clubbing 4 massive home runs in her first 5 games, the sophomore is on pace for a historic year.
I mean, really, there's no secret. It's just, you know, staying focused. And, I mean, I really can't tell you where it comes from. Legs, I guess. I don't know. I'm not exactly, you know, trying to hit home runs, but if they come, that would be great. But we're going to try and mix it up this season.
She's so strong. I mean, we get to see it at practice, of course, but she just, and you know, and she runs so well, and she's so strong. She's just an amazingly gifted athlete, and has a great approach to the game and to life. And you know what? You love to see her get the outcomes because she puts the time in and does things the right way.
But the one unusual aspect of Hoagland's role is that she bats from the leadoff spot instead of third or fourth, where players with her kind of power usually find themselves.
I mean, we couldn't ask for a better leadoff hitter because she sees a lot of pitches and then she comes back and returns the information to the rest of the group. So she's an awesome leadoff hitter, and we're excited about it.
I mean, I think we got asked a lot on media day about this, you know, maybe the fastest player we've ever had in UT history, in Brigée Washington, and she runs really well, and everybody made the assumption she'll be our new leadoff, but not necessarily. I mean, she's down in the 9 spot, and if teams are smart, they'll give her pitches to hit so they don't have to face Hoagland.
I think to our opponents, it makes them realize that their best hitter isn't just the #1 hitter, that we're good all the way through the lineup.
And here, let's take a look at that starting lineup. At catcher, you have returning senior Amy Hooks, first base Lexi Bennett, second base Reagan Fight, third base a slugger Nadia Taylor. At shortstop, you have a freshman Taylor Thom. Left field, Courtney Craig will eventually be the starter she was last year. However, she is currently injured right now to her glove hand. No more details on the injury as of this time. Center field, another freshman, Brigée Washington, a freshman with outstanding speed. Right field, as we just saw, Taylor Hoagland, and designated player expected to be Shelby Savoni throughout most of the season. Now, guys, this is an offensive team which, you know, through the past in the Kat Osterman days was did not, you know, give her a lot of help, but this is a team that really hit the ball last year, and as we can see now, it's starting with Taylor Hoagland.
Absolutely. Last year she led the team with a .382 average and had 11 home runs and 29 RBI. And as much as she brings to this team, she's not the only slugger on this ball club. And another one is third baseman Nadia Taylor, who had 9 home runs and 33 RBI last year with a .368 average, also was a first-team Big 12 player. And along with her is Courtney Craig. Now, when she comes back, we do not know. But when she will, if she can pick up where she left off last season as a power hitter, that is a very dangerous offense, and that's going to give Blair Luna a lot of help.
Well, you talk about power hitters. Amy Hooks. She's a girl that can lead the defense from behind the plate. She knows how to run, get around the bases. She led the team, was second in doubles and RBIs last year on the team. Another one, Lexi Bennett, she led the team in runs. Most important category, you got to have those for doing that. Well, new faces can sometimes raise a cause for concern, but examples of Blair Luna and what she did in her first year can ease the mind of the weary. Jordan Cannon has more on the freshman for this year.
The Longhorn softball team has 5 new freshmen this year, and all 5 are showing promise as powerful additions to the team.
I'm excited about our newcomers. We've got several of them, and I think our fans are going to be real excited to see them out of the chute. When I talk about depth, I'm talking about it in the circle, and even though we're still young there, we've got Kim Bruins back along with Blair Luna, and, but we've got Rachel Fox as a freshman, and coming in very similar to Blair, you know, a little bit under the radar, but very talented in the circle.
I think with us being so heavy laden with freshmen, it's kind of a big deal for us to come in here, and we got to learn our roles and learn where we stand.
I've got Taylor Thom penciled in to start at shortstop, and she's amazing and doing some great things as a newcomer, and I think she'll really turn some heads as a freshman, and anchoring our infield at shortstop is a big vision for her, but I think she'll handle it well. Brigée Washington, most likely a starter in center field, another newcomer, and runs at a whole nother level.
Coach Connie Clark and the newcomers feel very confident in their abilities going into this season.
I'm excited and ready to get going, and we can't wait. We're ready to get this thing started.
You know, you can graduate one or two, and it's still just a totally different dynamic when you bring in one or two. And I think this team is associated with two words that we couldn't start this meeting with last year, and that's experience and depth.
Me being a freshman, I'm just learning a lot and taking it all in, and we all have the confidence that this team can go all the way to 6-8-11 and win a national championship for the Longhorns.
Jordan Cannon, College Press Box.
Now with all the offense on the team, Blair Luna is still expected to be the anchor of this team. When we come back, we'll tell you a little bit more about her.
Welcome back to College Press Box and our baseball and softball preview special. Last season, freshman phenom Blair Luna did more than just lead the Longhorns rotation. In addition to being named the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year and being named a second-team All-American, the right-hander compiled 30 wins and proved that she was one of the best collegiate pitchers in the game. Jordan Cannon has more on how Luna is back to prove that she's more than a one-year wonder.
Blair Luna had a phenomenal freshman year as the pitcher for the Longhorn softball team, and after last weekend, it looks as if she's headed for another great season.
I don't really believe in sophomore slumps. I mean, we have had the discussion because obviously it's just completely different. She comes in with a set of expectations now, and that's a whole lot different than coming in as the underdogs.
It's lingered. It's definitely something that we've talked about. I mean, it's just something that makes us push even more this year.
You know, Blair typically is best when her back's against the wall, so I think that'll provide good motivation for her, if anything.
Luna's talent is so evident she's recently been compared to another Texas great, former pitcher Kat Osterman. Both Luna and Coach Clark have voiced their high expectations for this 2011 season.
Blair is exceptional. I mean, I think she's, has the ability absolutely to be in that category with Osterman, and obviously I think a lot of Kat Osterman.
One of the things that we talked about was being the underdog and how we were kind of the underdog last year, and I kind of feel in a way that we kind of still are. I still kind of feel like people don't think that we can do it, but I think that's something that really motivates us.
I think she'll now understand, especially through the grind of a season, to understand as a pitcher, I got to take care of my body, and we've added another pitch with her, so she's got a little different dynamic, a little different look for some hitters, and so it should be a very exciting year for Blair Luna.
Jordan Cannon, College Press Box.
Now, Blair Luna did get touched up in one of her starts over the weekend, but she still started very strong, winning all 3 games and striking out 13 in the opener. Now, guys, clearly the talent is there, but what does she need to do, and how does she avoid the dreaded sophomore slump?
Well, last season she pitched 250 innings, and that could be a lot. That's her first season in college softball. They leaned on her, and she held them up. Towards the end, she, I'm talking the last game or so, she tailed off a little bit, pulled the innings back a little, but you cannot say anybody could have ever had a better year on the hill.
And the good thing is she's going to get a break with Fox coming in as a freshman, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, 2-time private school state champion in high school. And she's already brought a lot to the table, 2-0 already with a 2 ERA. So she's going to give some relief to Luna, which is definitely needed for her. It brings the pressure off her, and it adds another person into a rotation. In softball, if you have a 2-person rotation, that's deep. That's extremely deep.
You're packed. Yeah, yes. Absolutely packed.
So with Fox and Luna, it's going to be a good rotation for the Longhorns.
Not to mention Kim Bruin's still a part of the squad, but now let's take a look at some of the key points on the schedule this season. February 24th, they take on Florida, a top 10 team in Cathedral City, California. March 5th, they go to Louisiana State, and then they have a very, very tough Big 12 schedule this season. April 2nd through April 3rd at Oklahoma State. April 6th versus Texas A&M here at home. That is expected to be a big one. April 30th through May 1st, Oklahoma, a top 15 team. May 4th, once again against Texas A&M, that time in College Station. And then a top 10 team in the nation this year, Missouri, closing out their Big 12 schedule. Now, thank you for tuning in with us tonight to the College Press Box baseball softball season preview. They will open up with 9 games by the combined teams this weekend. Now, as always, you can catch the results of those games at our regular time and place, Texas Student Television, Mondays at 9 o'clock or 9:30 for College Press Box. For Matt Loving, for Michael Morton, I'm Nathan Pars. Thank you for tuning in once again and have a wonderful evening.
I hook 'em up high. I hook 'em on big, I hook 'em up wide. Going from the corner, he's got it. I hook 'em up.
Video Game City, what's that?
No, Goose, no! It's a Christmas miracle! Oh God, it's bullets! Oh God! Oh my God, there's more dogs!
I haven't heard you make a funny joke all day.
I just talked to 5 guys, and all 5 of them said, "What's up with video games?"
Hello, Austin, and welcome to Sneak Peek. I'm Nikki,
I'm Emily.
and this is our third host, Mitch, who will be hatching from this egg later in the show.
This past weekend, theaters brought us the new film Just Go With It, Adam Sandler's latest movie. Here's Jordan with his review.
Directed by Dennis Dugan, Just Go With It is an embellished story about the evolution of a careless lie. Adam Sandler is Dr. Maccabee, a Silicon Valley plastic surgeon who, after almost marrying a horrible woman, discovers the vulnerability, sex appeal, and power that comes from wearing a fake wedding ring. So he decides to woo young blonde school teacher Palmer Dodge, played by Maxim model Brooklyn Decker. All is well until Decker accidentally finds his fake wedding ring, and so desperate, Adam Sandler lies that he's divorcing his wife, but Decker wants proof. So, with the help of his longtime friend, Catherine, played by Jennifer Aniston, and her 2 kids, Sandler invents a family on the verge of an all-too-friendly divorce. The chemistry between Sandler and Aniston is surprisingly great, with improvised bantering that really sells the whole friends becoming more than plot. Despite the blatant commercials, Decker is more than just eye candy, and holds her own as the naive yet likable love interest who just wants to be part of this dysfunctional family. One of the funniest characters in the film is the surprising performance of Bailey Madison as Aniston's daughter, Maggie, who delivers laugh after laugh. Eventually, Sandler's sheep-herding cousin Eddie, played by Nick Swartzen, joins in on the posing as Aniston's new boyfriend, and all head to Hawaii, where both the lies and the romance between Sandler and Aniston flourish, until the truth becomes the only way out. Nicole Kidman also hilariously cameos as an old college nemesis of Aniston. It strains the conflict as Aniston creates lies of her own. Overall, Just Go With It is refreshing, funny, and a well-written comedy that stands out during the season where the industry is all Oscar buzz, and not many films are released. Even if you aren't an Adam Sandler fan, there's something here for everyone.
The highlighter is totally euphemism for sex.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, hey guys. Our next segment is Tube Tide, which this week concerns the critically acclaimed television program, Real Housewives.
Critically acclaimed?
Okay, Miss I Love 16 and Pregnant. You want to judge me for liking high-quality drama? Because I'm pretty sure you'll just bawl your eyes out at the sight of a teenage girl having trouble with a diaper.
Well played.
And the best thing that's happened to pop music since Madonna.
People call me a bitch, but that's because I am.
People say I rely on my husband, but I'm my own woman now.
I'm better than everybody, and I know it.
viewers. This is Andy Cohen here, and I am here with the Real Housewives for their first time reunited since filming their first season. We have the lovely and perfect Kalinda. We have Tasha. We have the outspoken Chantel, and we have the fabulous Fiona. This is your first time since you've really seen each other, you know, or been on camera since the filming of this past season. So how does it feel to be back? What did you think about the season? You know, did you think it went well?
It was great. I mean, we all got along pretty well. I'd say the season turned out wonderful.
Great. And how are your relationships doing now?
We're really good.
Stronger than ever.
Oh, yes. We're so close. We got past a lot of issues.
That's really great to hear because there certainly was a lot that went down this past season. Speaking of which, probably the most buzzed about event of this season of Real Housewives was the infamous dinner party at Chantel's restaurant. Now, I'm sure you all remember exactly how it went down, but for those of you who forgot, here's a reminder.
Okay, have y'all seen how Chantel's been acting?
Yeah, she was so rude the other night.
What is
What the
I
don't understand.
Oh my
She's such a
gosh,
bitch.
she is just. Did you see the way that she was acting?
Have you seen what she started wearing too? She looks like a slut.
She just thinks that she's so much better than everybody else because she's really rich and. Oh my gosh! Hi,
You're so pretty.
Oh my gosh, that looks so good on you.
I think I know what y'all been talking about. And I don't appreciate phonies in this restaurant. This is my place, my town, and I don't need you, or you. You think you have so much money to throw it around like it's nothing. And you, stop talking about me behind my back when your man is around behind yours. I don't even know what to say, Tasha. You think you're so great, you're gonna be this big singer. Honey, you got 25 hits on YouTube and half of those were you in your room with a glass of wine. So don't talk to me about my life. Focus on yours, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all I Get out of me. Get out of my way.
Oh my God.
Well, she just proved us right.
Was she trying to flip the table?
Fail.
Well, things got pretty heated there. That was pretty crazy, ladies. So, Chantel, when you walked in, when you heard what was going on, what was going through your mind at that time?
You know, I was just overwhelmed with a lot of emotions, and I mean, looking back, it's kind of silly, and we've all become really close friends. They've all apologized, and I've forgiven them, so everything is back to normal.
That's really great to hear. I'm glad, you know, y'all are able to build bridges and get over it and become bigger people from, you know, everything that happened. Now, she said a lot of hurtful things that night. You know, how did that make you feel?
No, I've never known anyone to be so mean.
Oh, well, nobody could be mean to you, sweetie. You're a saint. And you know, Tasha, she personally attacked your music career.
Music career.
That was a really low blow, but I think that the real problem here is that we all know that she's just jealous of my talent. And actually, I think this would be a really good time for me to debut my new single.
No. Yeah, why don't we save that for another time? I think the viewers would love to catch that at a later time when the cameras aren't rolling. So, another big issue this season, Fiona, you went through with your divorce with Billy Ray Cyrus this season, and it's finally been finalized.
It has, Andy.
How does that feel?
It feels really great. It's chapter closed in my life, and no prenup, so it's given me a lot of opportunities and plenty of time to be able to find myself.
Or find their booze.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Say it to my face, bitch.
You know what? I don't deserve this.
No. Sit back down.
Ladies, let's try and keep the peace here. You know, let's not let things get too crazy. So, why don't we move on from that, you know, sensitive area? Obviously, it's kind of an issue. So, why don't we talk about Chantel's restaurant? You know, you started it up this season. It's, you know, it seems to be really great. It was definitely the centerpiece of the season. There was a lot of stuff that happened at the restaurant, as we saw earlier. So tell us about how it's doing now.
It is going fabulously. Paul McCartney is a frequent guest, and business is just booming.
But it's obviously nothing compared to my music career.
Well, your music career is nothing, so nothing.
Have you heard my new single, High-Heeled Shoes and Camera Crews?
I don't want that kind of in my ear, so no, thank you.
What did you just say about my music?
Did you just touch me? Nobody touches me unless I ask them
I'll
to.
show you touching.
Get off of me! No, you get away, you drunk.
Hey, I'm not a drunk. You
Well, this seems about as good a time as any to wrap things up. Things are getting kind of out of control here. So we'll see you next time, next season for the Housewives here. And be sure to catch our 16th installment to the franchise, Real Housewives of Quebec, coming to you this fall. Good night, ladies. It was really great having you here.
What's wrong, Nikki?
I don't know. The show just gets to me.
What are you talking about? I thought you didn't watch it.
It's the drama and the passion. It's just TV at its finest.
The Real Housewives. Seriously?
Yes.
It's trash. It kills brain cells, and it probably causes sterility.
You just don't understand. Open that black void you call a heart.
I think it's time for a commercial break.
I think I need a hug.
No.
Hi, I'm Jorge Olivares.
And I'm Catherine Barrett.
Coming up today, a UT professor has changed my final exam. What does this mean for my grades and my future?
And a midday marathon through San Jacinto is keeping me from getting to class on time.
This just in, an affiliate reporter has just informed me that her class has been canceled on Friday. What does that mean for her pre-weekend plans? We'll tell you after the break.
You're watching Sneak Peek on Texas Student Television.
Nikki, are you feeling better yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Our next segment is a deleted scene from The Dark Knight.
And by deleted scene, we mean a short that we made at school where I play Batman.
So a completely serious rendition of a scene we feel Christopher Nolan would have seriously wanted to bring to the film.
Exactly.
That's the original thought of Superman, though. He's immortal. Oh, hey there, Batman. We were just talking about you, actually. We want you and Superman to hook up for this. Where is he? Anybody want to see a magic trick?
You okay there, Batman?
Where's Rachel?
I'm right here.
Oh, hey, Rachel.
Rachel. Why haven't you called me?
I'm with Harvey now.
It's so two-faced.
Goodbye, Bruce. You're too serious.
Sorry.
Nobody wants to see a magic trick.
Well, that was a mighty fine-looking Batman.
He was wearing glasses. What?
They're night vision goggles. Duh.
But the lights were on.
What's our next segment?
A preview of the Adjustment Bureau.
Let's just get to that.
On the brink of winning a seat in the U.S. Senate, politician David Norris, played by Matt Damon, meets free-spirited contemporary ballet dancer Elise Sellis, played by Emily Blunt. Just after the two realize their true feelings for each other, a mysterious group of men plot to keep them apart.
Both actors portray their characters exceptionally well, and while the chemistry between the two is praiseworthy, the confusing plot and screenplay fails to keep up with their performances. The film is based off of the short story Adjustment Team, written by Philip K. Dix. The idea behind the Adjustment Bureau, that a select group of men have the ability to control the choices that humans make in order to keep them from diverging from the path already chosen for them by a so-called chairman. This concept is unsuccessful when the Bureau goes on a long and challenging journey to separate David and Elise, after David wanders from the chosen plan. Throughout the movie, the audience is forced to ask the question, if the Bureau is so powerful, why must they go through all the trouble to separate the two? If director George Nolfi's only vision were to portray a dramatic romance between two dynamic characters, this film would be a success. However, by creating a plot that tries to appeal to every type of audience, Nolfi creates a film that is just too much, with an attempt to combine romance, humor, action, drama, and science fiction. This movie seems to confuse itself and leaves the audience unsatisfied. If you like Matt Damon or Emily Blunt, you'll probably enjoy this movie because they really are on top of their game. However, as a whole, this movie exceeds Jumper but falls extremely short of Inception.
So, Nikki, did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Not really.
My boyfriend and I went to the movies and saw that new romantic comedy. It was great.
Rom-coms suck.
Wow.
They plant these stupid ideas in your head, like you'll meet someone in the most ridiculous situation, like an anti-Valentine's party, but after you shave and put on clean underwear, you get there and it's just a bunch of dudes playing Halo. All that hard work and zero desperate chicks.
Wow, okay, Nikki.
I just wanted somebody to hold.
Aww.
Not you.
Oh.
Bam, bam. Guess what? I just watched the best movie the other day, Legally Blonde.
Oh, yeah? That was actually a pretty good movie. Reese Witherspoon did a pretty good job with the role.
Was she one of the extras? I didn't see her, but those twins were remarkable. I don't know when the sequel comes out, but I cannot wait.
Wait, what are you talking about? There was no twins in Legally Blonde. Are you talking about Parent Trap?
No, the one with the two British girls.
Oh, the third one?
I thought it was an original.
Let's just go to Nathan with Guilty Pleasure.
The third one. 10 years ago, I saw a movie that forever changed my outlook on seemingly ditzy girls everywhere. It's a moving tale about a recently rejected woman, passed over by the man of her dreams for her assumed lack of intelligence. Moved so by this dramatic turn of events, she decides to leave behind her dabbling in retail and receive an Ivy League education. She fights to break through the self-image her background has cast upon her, and hits a home run on her A+ message to not judge a book by its cover. That, and you never let your hair get wet after a perm. Yes, Austin, I'm referring to the Gucci-carrying law student herself, Elle Woods. Yeah, you heard me. I've got a non-fictional crush on a fictional girl. And with that comes my love of Legally Blonde. For all you guys out there too stubborn to appreciate some good shopping humor or a salon full of women learning to bend and snap, I pity you. And for the girls questioning my masculinity, well, let's face it, no one's doing that. Heck, Luke Wilson even plays the love interest. Luke Wilson is awesome. So, to end, Reese, wherever you are, I love you even more than I love your peanut butter cups.
See? Told you so. Legally blonde.
Well, now the whole thing's ruined for me. Why would you do that? Why?
You should be thanking me. Anyway, that's all we have left of the show.
Nothing makes no sense anymore.
All right, calm down. Well, goodbye, Austin. See you next week.
Get hype! Get hype! Get hype! Get hype!
TNN.
Go ahead, kid. Take your first shot.
All this and more. Fridays at 9:30.
So, Madeline, should I take my pants off now?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Who are you again?
Hey, dude, I've had this on my mind. If God's omnipotent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he can do anything, he has the power.
Oh, sure.
Can he, like, per se, create a rock? Like, huge rock that's just too big for him to pick up? Think he could do that?
Oh, hello. My name's Edward. I produce a little show for TSTV called Capital Cineforum. Nobody really knew about us last semester. Thanks. And to be honest, nobody really knows about us this semester either. The fact is, we here at Capital Cineforum have a lot to offer any television audience. It's good. We air student short films made by UT students. You know, movies like... No. Well... And our episodes have fun themes like...
Those films were out of sight.
But we have funny opening sketches too. They tend to be about cat food commercials. It's just sort of a thing. Oh, thanks. So watch Capital Cineforum next semester. Really? Please?
This is world spicy.
Gabriel Gibaldi, and I'm sitting here with Gym Class Heroes.
think of Joe Biden's stance on zombie issues?
Oh my God! Oh, he's having a seizure! He's having a seizure! What do I do?
There's not that many girls on this show, so I'm so excited. I know.
There aren't.
Who was a
flamethrower? I got a flamethrower. Let's run down to the cafe and get a cherry Coke and some hamburgers. Video Game Hour Live! Woo!